Hi, my name is Brittany Klein, and this is my final project about the extremely high death rate in Swaziland, Africa, due to HIV/AIDS. A rude awakening. Africa is a hot and dry region with a total population of 1 billion people, with one of the most devastating death rates in the entire world. Swaziland of Africa has the highest death rate in all of Africa. With hundreds of thousands of people being born, there are hundreds of thousands of people dying. Not only is Swaziland experiencing some serious issues with the spread of HIV, the entire African region is being devastated by it, and it needs to be addressed. Death rate on the rise. Swaziland statistics. 13.95 death rate every 1,000 population, with a 57.19 infant mortality rate per 1,000 population. There is a total population of 1,403,362 people as of July 2013. And out of that population, 180,000 of those people have HIV. A huge contributor is ignorance of the Swaziland people. There have been efforts put forth to help educate the people of Swaziland, but there are more people than there is help. There also has been studies that show that 90% of factory workers were aware of the proper preventing methods like female condoms and such to help prevent getting infected with AIDS. It is also said that more than 50% of factory workers are infected with HIV/AIDS. This makes you wonder, if they were aware of the proper protection and the proper way of avoiding getting the disease, why does it continue to happen and spread? It is said that there is a lot of ignorance coming from the people of Swaziland. Clinics see hundreds of people every day to treat them and test them for HIV/AIDS, and other diseases as well. Studies show that women are mainly the only gender to be tested. Swaziland men won't come to be tested, and researchers are not completely sure why. In my opinion, I think it's because they don't want to be looked down upon or looked to as weak if they were to become HIV positive. And in my opinion, that is a whole nother sign of ignorance coming from the Swaziland people. How HIV/AIDS spreads. HIV spreads through the different ways such as blood, semen, and vaginal fluid. Ways it can spread is from one infected person to another are unprotected sexual intercourse, transfusion of infected blood or blood products. Infected mothers transfer the infection to her baby during pregnancy or through breastfeeding, and the use of infected needles and instruments without sterilization. Most infected needles are mostly used by drug users. HIV prevalence throughout Africa. This is a map showing all of the statistics of people over the age of 30 who are HIV positive. And if you can see on the lower part of Africa, in the southern tip, is where most of the infection rates are the highest. And if you can see, there are 4 main countries in Africa that are the highest, and Swaziland is one of them. These are geological maps of the population density and the political map of Swaziland. Mbabane is the capital and the largest city in Swaziland, and Lobamba is the traditional legislative capital of Swaziland. And if you can see through the 2 different maps where the capital of Mbabane and is where the most population density is located on the map on the left. On the bottom of the screen is the link to my map master where you can look at the region of Africa and look at all the different geological and political and economical things about Africa, and I could not figure out how to save that map to have put on here, so that's just a way of you being able to interact through the map that way. The Swaziland region, these are some information of the geography of Swaziland. English is the official government language, and Siswati is the other official language used. 57% of their people believe in Christianity. Their natural resources come of many, which include clay, coal, hydropower, forests, gold and diamond deposits, and quarry stone and talc. Some environmental issues include limited portable water supply for clean water for people to use to live for everyday life. Wildlife population depletion due to overhunting and poaching, overgrazing, and soil erosion. Almost 70% of the population is under the poverty line, so basically those people are just living homeless, no food, water, or shelter, just not having it easy. Everyday life in Swaziland isn't all rainbows and butterflies. Traditionally, Swazis have been farmers and herders, but recently most work in growing urban economies and governments. Every day, Swazis deal with the huge epidemic of the spread of HIV. Many Swazis live in chronic poverty and food shortages are widespread. For most Swazis, life is a huge challenge and death is around every corner. With not enough clean water for everyone, there is dysentery and malaria spreading throughout the country. Crisis: what is being done? There are groups and organizations like the AIDS Healthcare Foundation that are trying to do their part to help with the situation. Organizations like these provide as much help as they can to the Swaziland people by providing basic medical needs to treat HIV and other diseases. They also provide food and water for their patients that they are treating and caring for. These foundations also have classes that teach the Swazis the proper way of using protection and proper cleaning techniques to help eliminate the spread of AIDS. Most of these organizations actually run off of donations and are nonprofit organizations. Solutions, anyone? Prevention is number one. These are some examples of how to prevent the spread of HIV. Is safe intercourse through the use of condoms, safe habits such as cleaning your hands and washing your hands with soap and just being sanitary, using safe needles by hospitals and actual doctors that use sterilized needles, and staying away from drug users. The use of safe blood through blood transfusion and such, only used by hospitals, and know that that is safe blood to use, and if anyone has any cuts or infections, to try to use gloves when around those people. And education is a huge ordeal. The education of all of these safe habits, and education of preventing all of this, and spreading the spread of HIV. In conclusion, Swaziland, Africa is suffering from death, starvation, and disease, and so is the entire region of Africa. This country has a long time before the death rate will go down, with the risk of HIV lurking around every corner. It is hard to determine when this country will ever see better days. I definitely feel like if there were more education and less women having babies, the rate would drop dramatically. With hundreds of thousands of people dying every year due to this crisis, something seriously drastic needs to happen. This is my works cited. It has all of my citations and all of these websites, so they're easy. These are my map citations, so they're easier to locate. And thank you for listening, and that is the end of my presentation.